I want to talk a little bit about the importance of community while my dog stares me down for my banana. I went to yoga this evening. I figured it was a light workout. I didn't sweat. I didn't have to stretch too much or push too hard if things started feeling wonky with my stitches or whatever. Had a wonderful time. Ended up being the only person there. So for $10, I got a private yoga session, which is super, super awesome. You know, yay! I hadn't met Samantha before. She asked me all the important questions, you know, have you done this long? How experienced are you? She asked about my surgery and stuff, so she kind of knew where she was going with the flow once she realized it was us. She talked me through everything. Before we even got started, she, had the ideas where she wanted to go. She wanted to do the floor exercise, then we'll do the standing, then we'll do the challenging stuff, then we'll do the Savanyasa. Yeah, see, I can totally do this. It's spirit guide telling me stuff. Thank you. Savanyasa. Yeah, my brain. So, and then when we started, she was very, very good at directing me in a way that wasn't demoralizing. Being not so experienced, even though I've done it a bunch, I haven't done it seriously for any length of time, or even seriously, I would say, at all. I enjoy doing it. I'm probably not going to do it every week. It's not something that I see myself earning an accreditation towards or something like that. I enjoy it. I like it. It's challenging when you do it right, but it's not really my thing. Does that make sense? Yeah. But it's certainly her thing, and it showed because she found the perfect way to correct my form the entire night. And you could tell that she was experienced. And she went. It was like square dancing for people that have never square danced before. Okay, we're going to flow up, downward dog, bend with the flow, inhale, exhale, do this, do this, do this. And my brain was like, I have no idea what's going on. And thankfully the rest of me took over and was like, yeah, we got this, just vegetate out, and just go with the flow. So I was lucky that I'd had a little bit of experience to get me okay, but I knew that if it became too much, I could be like, hey, can you slow down a little? I'm not so good at this. I'm sure she would have taken a few steps back, but I really kind of wanted to see how far my body could maneuver being fresh out of surgery. I did really well, except for the Sphinx and the boat. And I think the only reason the Sphinx bothered me was because my shirt got stuck. The tape from the stitches is turning up on the sides, and my shirt stuck to the piece of the tape, and I was like, oh my god, this sucks. And then the boat sucks because the boat's hard. So if you've never done the boat, look up the boat and then be like, oh yeah, it's just a stupid boat. Yeah, no, it was awesome. I had a wonderful time. And I asked her, I'm like, how do people not know about this? Why isn't this a packed class? How do we keep this little gem so hidden, but pay you guys well enough that you stay in business? Like, I hate to put it like that, but yes, because yoga where we are is so snobby, judgy. Yeah, I mean, like literally, there are people who are doing it for clearly different reasons than I'm doing it, which is fine, whatever. If you want to wear your brand name clothes and drink out of your brand name bottle and do stuff with your brand name mat and your brand name block, well then you brand name your brand name and do it. Not my thing. So, a very open, non-judgmental space. Just did a cool little guided meditation. My poor spirit guide almost died laughing hysterically. She was trying to correct my form and the way your thighs push in or out depending on the pose. So she put the block, she's like, put the block in between your thighs. I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, now push it out. And I was like, okay. And she's like, okay, now bring it back, you know, and you move your thighs. She was like, you've just become a human Pez dispenser. And so help me God. Friggin' spirit guide is like, this is why they have Snapchat. And she just was, that was it. She officially lost it. The human Pez dispenser. That was worth the $10. For the record, that I will remember that moment for the rest of my life. And that was one of the few times she has actually laughed completely hysterically in her own little world. It was great. Great. She should make a YouTube video on that because it is actually very challenging. But yeah, thigh Pez dispenser. Think about it. Anyway, so there was that. And then she was, I was sniffling and blowing my nose. I was like, I'm sorry, I have sinus crap because allergies. And she was like, oh yeah, I have a thing we could totally do for that. And I was like, all right, I'll try anything, like once or twice or whatever. And so these little tabby things inside your ear, you take your thumb and you push and you just kind of hug your head. You inhale, and when you exhale, you make the sound of a bee. Bzzz. And I swear, she was laughing. I was trying so hard not to laugh, but it's really hard to buzz when you're like... I think she thought perhaps that I had breathing problems. It had nothing to do with her. It was because it's hysterical. I've never heard that technique before. It is hysterical. You should try it. You should try it. I was dying. Yeah, it was great. But it made my nose sniffle because I guess the vibrations like do something magical to your sinuses. So I may use that in private, but I will never ever do that again in public because I was really glad it was just me in the class at that point because I was waiting for Essie to pull out Snapchat. Yeah, that was great. So there's that. But if we don't support these small businesses and share our experiences, our fantastic experiences about these small businesses and these practitioners, these small wellness centers that are really like our oasis in a sea of trendy yoga people and crazy chiropractors. Although I know some really nice chiropractors. My point being, they are the wonderful bridge to gap every wellness and whole need. They have all sorts of fantastic practitioners that are Reiki people, essential oil people that are accredited, not like just selling crap. Like they're actually health-wise accredited. There's a personal trainer that deals especially with people who have unique needs, whether you're older, you're hurt, or you just are just starting out and need a plan to get healthy. And that's why I like when I went to the belting part, I was like, these are my people, these aren't Hay House wannabes, fake. These are real people doing real work with other real people to elevate everyone. I'm like, okay, we need to spread the word about this. How do we get this out? And that's when it really hit me, community is huge. We ask for recommendations for our friends. We're like, hey, do you know anybody that does plumbing? Do you know anybody that fixes cars? Do you know anybody so we need to shout out the things that we love and say, hey, I had an awesome yoga class. It was $10 instead of 50. Like, people seriously around here, it's don't even get me started. No, it's not an awesome studio yet. They're redoing it, which is even cooler because you get to be part of the metamorphosis into what it's going to be when it's bigger and better and awesome. And hopefully keep the same rate. So yes, find your local wellness centers. Maybe I see, and it depends on what your needs are. If you're really hardcore Christian, find your Christian wellness center. If you're really hardcore pagan, find your pagan wellness center. If you're, in between, find your between. But that's what's really cool about the Little Brick Wellness House. I'm pretty sure that's it. Is that they really have everybody. There's a person that does angel readings. There's the physical fitness person. There's the oil person. There's the they have 2 pagan people. There's just the shopkeeper who's, you know, and there, there's just, it's an amazing community center for people from all walks of life. And I'm like, dude, I love that. That calls to me on like so many different levels. And all because I tried something different and tried something different again. And I've had a wonderful experience both times. So please, if you're local, go to these places. It's all over my Facebook page. I'll have to put it on the Living Mediumship page. But shout out if you have a good experience. If you have a bad experience, well, just don't brag on those people. Brag on the people who have a good experience with. The bad experience people will just fade away because that's how businesses close. Good people, we want to lift them up. We want to keep them around. I'd love to have $10 yoga whenever I can go. Of course, I hope to be back in the gym soon. I told her that. I'm like, this is a really awesome class. Don't be offended if I don't come back. Tuesday is Muay Thai night. Sorry, priorities. But I still plan on telling everyone that will listen that I had a wonderful time and I highly recommend her. Community. Because if we don't start our own communities, we're just kind of wandering on our own. And that's why Karma Fest is such a huge deal in our neck of the woods. Because there's a lot of people up north in Pennsylvania, and there's a crap ton of people down south in Virginia. But as far as Maryland goes, like, these are the few times of a year when we come together and, like a big party. Essentially, that's what Karma Fest is. The big one is at Oregon Ridge this weekend. It is awesome. You can bring your own drinks and snacks and stay a while. I'll probably bring a chair this time. I don't normally bring a chair, but, my poor tummy. Probably need to rest more than I normally would. I go to a whole bunch of classes. I make sure I stop by and see all the people I know. And so I'll probably try and do like a live video thing, depending on my camera's behavior. Probably have to bring my plug. Yeah. So that was my awesome yoga night and my rant about how important community is. It truly is. I can't emphasize it enough. This is me emphasizing it. So please, shout out your community, shout out the good in your community, do good in your community, lift your community up, and community. Savanyasa. Yeah. Pest dispenser. That's really the best. All right, love you guys. Have a good night.